Today marks exactly 1 year since Rockstar released their last major DLC update to Red Dead Online, and that update was Blood Money. And honestly, in comparison to other DLCs this game has received, it was pretty small and certainly smaller than Frontier Pursuits. However, since then, the only new content we've gotten was in the form of drip-fed modes like Call to Arms, Halloween Call to Arms, Christmas Call to Arms, and then all the quick draw clubs that released at the end of summer and beginning of fall 2021. And what better way to celebrate this content hiatus than ask for the community's opinion about it and see how they've been filling their time on the game. Especially with Rockstar's most recent announcement, the dedicated player base's spirit has been decimated, and now players have a choice to continue playing, whether that's on their main character, on a second character like I've done recently, or just put time and energy into other new and exciting games that they're probably going to enjoy as well. Nonetheless, I was curious to see where everyone was at, so the other day I asked the Red Dead Online community and my subscribers. July 13th marks 1 year since the last DLC update to Red Dead Online. How do you feel about that and Rockstar's most recent announcement regarding the future of Red Dead Online? And that is the question we will be answering in today's video. Thank you everyone who took the time to leave their thoughtful responses and comments. If you enjoyed this video at any point, or if you just find it helpful, let me know by dropping a like on it. And if you'd like to stay up to date with everything Red Dead Redemption 2, Red Dead Online, and Rockstar games as a whole, consider hitting that subscribe button with your bell notifications turned on. Now before we start off, today is also the day of the Red Dead Online funeral put together by Magnar, who runs the Red Dead Online community Reddit, and as well as the Twitter page. All of the details for his in-game event can be found on his Twitter page that I'll have linked in the description below. Definitely advise you wear black if you plan on attending or getting involved. But for us today, the show goes on. So starting off from Pink Percy Gaming, he says, "I think as a fan base we did everything we can." That is absolutely true. We put together the clown movement, hashtag save Red Dead Online, all these community efforts to get Rockstar's attention on the game, and this was their response, that basically they're saying, well, no more major DLC updates planned for the rest of this year, and that will probably continue onwards. We just have no exact confirmation of that. They left it up in the air, but as a fan base, we definitely did everything we can. Luis Sosa says, "Honestly, the announcement made it seem pointless for RDO to be launched in the first place. It's hard to believe a company like Rockstar didn't foresee that GTA 6 would need all those resources, and why even develop the online aspect only to give it proper attention and support for 1.5 years and then remove its resources. Also, making your company dependent on a single product and franchise makes no sense from a business perspective. Having multiple sources of income is like business 101, even if one is higher than the rest, as long as they're all profitable." And that is one of the major problems that Rockstar has with Red Dead Online. Sure, GTA Online is always going to be more profitable and more exciting for many players and have that broader appeal, but Red Dead Online is still absolutely profitable and amazing. It's within the top 10 selling games of all time, 44 million copies sold. I'm not sure why they're just leaving it in the dust. Alcoholic Villain says, "It's time to move on. Such a wonderful game. It remains my favorite solo gaming experience to date. I had such high hopes for the online, and some of it was really good. Sadly, we all know what happened. The meager amount of online content wasn't enough. In the words of Arthur Morgan to his dying horse, thank you, but it's over." And unfortunately for many, that is going to be the case. The online is amazing. Like Alcoholic Villain says, it is a wonderful online, whether solo gaming or gaming with friends. Absolutely amazing, but for many, it is going to be time to move on. Marcus Stefani says, "I feel kind of really sad. It's such a great game with huge potential. So many possibilities and opportunities to make it one of the best games of all time. And Rockstar doesn't even put a minimum amount of effort into this game. They should sell the game to another company. That would be the best solution for players and Rockstar." And while I would love that, and I think that's a lot of players' dream right now, to see this game continue to get supported, whether by Rockstar or a different studio, unfortunately, I could just honestly never see this happening. Rockstar's already funding Max Payne 1 and 2 remakes with, I think, Remedy Entertainment, the guys who made Alan Wake. They have a good working relationship with them. Rockstar is very close with that other company, and I wish maybe some other company could take over Red Dead Online, some joint agreement. They're paying for the IP and they're developing content. The game's already there, so it's not like, this other new company would be totally bad at what they're doing. They just need to create good content like Rockstar would do for the online, but I just don't think that's ever going to happen, but it's good to dream, right? Optimal Pulse says, "I played Red Dead Online religiously for over a year, then I found Fallout 76, never looked back. My partner and I used to love the grind on Red Dead Online, but when people pay money for in-game currency to fund the online aspect and Rockstar doesn't support back, then peace out. Disgraceful company." That's how a lot of people feel. And a little side note about Fallout 76, it had a really rough launch, just like Red Dead Online, but the difference now is Red Dead Online isn't being supported very much or really at all, whereas Fallout 76 has the full dedication from Bethesda. They've listened to the players and their feedback, they fixed a lot of the problems, and while there's still some things they need to work work on, they're continuing to update the game with new DLC, and exciting DLC that players want to engage with, that players want to buy, things like that. That's what Rockstar can have, but they're just not acting on it. Dragon Blaze says, I think it's wasted. Such a great game, perfect environment, movement, and in general, a great game. Wasted its life, but I know it's hard, but we have to move on. Kalahazos says, WoW received an update since 2004. I know this is not an MMORPG, but still, they can release great content. There isn't much great Wild West games, and Red Dead is a very great game, and even just log on, do some hunting and riding without purpose can be really relaxing. But its content was great and deserved much more. GTA, always the same. Very true. While Red Dead Online isn't a true MMO, it was updated sort of like it. It's a live service game, sort of like MMORPGs, and it has good content. And Kalahazos is right. There really aren't that many great Wild West games that are really polished like Red Dead Online, made from Rockstar Games, for example. An amazing, or what used to be an absolutely amazing game developer, and we just have to see what happens with their next installment in GTA. But honestly, Red Dead Online is like the pinnacle of Wild West entertainment video games, and it's just unfortunate that to see this road kind of slow down and possibly be coming to an end here. Isaac Brubaker says, what hurts the most is that we never received properties and the ability to rob places. The heist update was so lackluster compared to what they put forth in GTA Online that it was just a slap in the face. That was many players' problems. The Tuners DLC in GTA Online was absolutely fantastic. Players loved it. Blood Money, in terms of the missions, I did like them. The contracts were really cool. I'm happy they added those to the game. But in terms of the actual content of those missions, they were so much more simple than GTA Online's. And that's the other thing. Rockstar said that they were going to continue to evolve this ever-evolving world, rob places, receive properties, things like that. The only property we have right now is Moonshiners, and that came right after Rockstar's interview with, I think it was Video Game Network, VGN, or sorry, VG247, or possibly it was Kotaku. I forget which one, but either way, they said players aren't ready for properties, and then the very next update they put in the Moonshiners update with a property, but we never got actual properties. Now, moving on, I want to talk about some responses from Twitter. Videotech says, I refuse to believe that Rockstar doesn't have enough development resources to update the game. GTA Online constantly gets decent size updates with a good amount of drip-fed content. It's frustrating they treat Red Dead Online like it's nothing anymore. That's something I agree with wholeheartedly, and I responded to Videotech basically saying, yeah, I don't believe that for a second. They do have the resources to split them, a little bit on Red Dead Online, a little bit on GTA, and a little bit on GTA 6. If they didn't have the resources to develop these online games further and they needed to dump everything into GTA 6, then GTA Online wouldn't be getting any more content updates. But of course, they're going to keep that going because that's making all their money. They're putting all their eggs in one basket. And if it's, really the case, Red Dead Online hasn't gotten a whole lot of content over the past few years. I mean, you can argue since the very release that the game hasn't gotten a whole lot of content updates. And so if you look at the credits of Red Dead Redemption 2 and those are responsible for the multiplayer, it adds up to less than 60 employees, whereas Rockstar has like almost 2,500 at this point in studios spread across the entire planet. So to see that those 60 people are now dedicated to GTA 6 and there's not much going to be going on with Red Dead Online, it's really strange that that would be the case. But either way, there's just so much both myself and the rest of the player base of what we have to say, and so if you have anything to say at all, definitely let me know in the comments below. All that said though, we're going to be wrapping things up right here. Hopefully you all enjoyed the video today, and if you did, hopefully I earned your like on it. And of course, if you are new to my channel and you want to stay up to date with all the best Red Dead Online and Rockstar Games content, consider hitting that subscribe button so you don't miss out on a single thing we post here on the channel. We consistently talk about updates, news, information, tips, tricks, and even leaks, and we'll keep you guys updated here on the channel daily, so make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to follow me over on Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram, those are the best places to get connected with me outside of YouTube, and you're more than welcome to ask me any questions on those platforms. You can follow me at HazardousHDTV, and all of my social media links can be found in the description down below. With that being said, thank you all so much for watching. Hope you all have a fantastic day, and I will see you guys in the next Red Dead Online video. Adios, amigos.